my name is Ken. I'm one of the many tour guides you're all going to see today as you go around to the different areas you see. I'm going to be your field access person, and before we send you down to the field, we're waiting for some of those folks to clear out. I just want to share with you a couple of quick stories about our current stadium versus our new stadium. A few of the reasons why we're looking to move over there. I'm sure you've seen all the different news articles and have heard all the different stories about the new place. But let's start with this place. This place was built in 1973. Think about it, do the math, what's that, 53, 54 years ago when we move out of here. We got about 4 or 5 games left here in the stadium. Hopefully we're going to make it about 7 or 8 games left here in the stadium. Let's see how the season goes. But 54 years old, I don't know, man. When I turned 50, I know the aches and pains I started to feel. So you can only imagine what this stadium's starting to feel like. It's pretty old. And when we built it in 73, there were a lot of non-issues that we didn't have to deal with that we have to deal with today. One of those happened to be ADA regulations. There were very few, if any, handicap accessibility regulations in 1973. In fact, if you look across the way and you take a look at that tunnel, I see somebody going up the tunnel. No, I don't. But the tunnel is very, very steep. That tunnel, that ramp in our tunnel does not meet ADA regulations. Also, for some reason in 1973, we thought that the two teams that were playing against each other would be friendly at the end of the game as they headed up the tunnel to go talk to their respective locker rooms. Apparently that's not always the case, and we always have fisticuffs up there as the two teams are going off after a particularly competitive game. So that was another little error we made. New stadium's going to have a few different tunnel locations so that we'll keep the teams separate. One thing I like to tell our folks that you may not know is that our football field does not fit our stadium. It used to in 1973. We had a football field, we had a stadium, we played football, and that was it, we went home. But you gotta understand, back in 1973, you might have had 38 players on a team. I mean, I see Booker Edgerson's upstairs. Ask him, he played in the late 60s, right? He'll tell you, if you were an offensive lineman and you lost the ball and now you're going to play defense, the defense didn't come out, you stayed out because you are now the defensive lineman. So you only had about 38 players on a team back then. You also only had about 5 coaches. You know, that's all you needed. A head coach, a couple assistants, offense, defense, maybe a couple more, that was it. Today, we have 53 players on a team, each team. We have a coaching staff. The Buffalo Bills alone has a coaching staff of about 20-something people. We have a coach, her title is the Quality Assurance Coach for Special Teams. I don't know what she does, but we got one. We got a Quality Assurance Coach for Special Teams. So she's out there on the field. Now, I know some of the coaches are up in the booth, but many of them still stay on the field. Add to that the medical personnel, the conditioning personnel, they're on the field. A few years ago, you noticed we got those big blue injury tents that they got to have a space for that. So if somebody gets hurt, they put the big blue tent up. Got to have a space for that. We're running out of space on our sidelines. So after we opened the place up in 73, the NFL, after a decade or two, came out and said, you know, we got to put a dotted white line around the field. And we have to do that to keep some of those people away from the playing field. And then about 20-something years ago, the NFL came out and said, we got to push people back a little further. So they put a dotted yellow line around our field. Now, if you take a look at our dotted yellow line, if it was a perfect football field, those dotted yellow lines are supposed to come to a very nice right angle corner. If you look at our corners, we have a problem. Our field doesn't fit. We can only go so far with our dotted yellow lines, and then we hit the wall where our fans are sitting. So what do we do in true Buffalo fashion? We just went, you know, the hell with it. We took the yellow paint, and we just literally painted the wall at the bottom. So this is as far as we can go. We can't go any further. So when you do go down there, take a look at our corners, or should I say our non-corners. We don't have corners. The new football fields the new stadium's being designed so that we got corners. And we even got a little extra room in case we want to expand again later. The only other thing I'm going to tell you about, and I'll send you down the field because obviously the rain's starting to show up, is the fact that the wind issue. Now, we've all heard about the wind issue on the new stadium, right? We've all heard about the stadium roof, where it's being designed like in that saddle shape, and the concept is, now I'm not an engineer, so I don't know how it works, but the idea is the wind's going to come across, up over this, hit that roof, and then go up over the stadium and continue on. That we know about. But here's something I want you to take a look at when you leave here today. take a look at those silver panels that are being set up around the building itself. They look like they're all nice and flush. They look like they're all together. They're not. They are actually separated, individual panels. And take a look at every other panel. You'll see it's bent in, bent out. It's not a nice straight panel. There's little notches in them that bend in and out. Again, I'm not the engineer, but the concept is that wind's going to come, it's going to hit that building dead on, and it's going to literally go around, hug the building, and go out the other side. I'll believe it when I see it next year when we move in there, but for now, that's what we're being told is going to happen. So I'll be around. My name's Ken. I can answer more questions if you have them, but let's get you down to the field.